Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Erin. I am doing a little bit of a declutter for you guys today. So I have gone through my whole collection and pulled out items that are either the wrong color, I'm not using, I don't feel like they're good products, and I want them out of my collection. I just want more room in my collection for the things that I actually love. So whenever I open my drawers, I want to feel happy and not see something that was disappointing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. So I don't even know where to start with this, but I guess, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. I used this a couple times and I even tried it a couple different ways, but I don't like the consistency of this. I don't like how sticky it gets. If you don't set it down properly, then your eyeshadows skip over it. You can't put it over other products. So if you do your face first and you get some concealer or something up on your lids and then put this on, it completely wrecks all of it. I think that the Milani one, as far as drugstore pricing, is a lot better than this one. I tried to declutter this once before, but I decided to give it one more shot and it still hasn't worked for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of my collection because I mean, it's a pretty decent sized tube, so it's taking up room in my little compartment in my drawers. Along with eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this gel eyeliner from Bella Pierre. This came in a BoxyCharm, I believe. It's just a black eyeliner. It's kind of, I mean, it is very nice and black, but it's not creamy. And so it's a little bit harder, it's a little bit patchy. I'm not a fan of this formula, so this is going to go. Along those same lines, we have the eyeliner from Vintage Cosmetics. You guys probably saw in my BoxyCharms. I mean, and this one is smoother than the gel one. This is the Vintage Cosmetics one right here, but still it's a wooden eyeliner, not really my preference for eyeliners. And then I also have a Maybelline Master Precise Ink Metallic one. I think that this one is just old. It's not performing like it should. I mean, you can see right there, it just completely is just watery. So I think this one is just old and it has outworn its time, so that one is going out as well. And I think for the eye category, that kind of does us. In defense of that Bella Pierre one, it does not want to come off. So it doesn't go on nice, but at least it won't come off. Next we have this brow pencil from e.l.f. This is in the shade Taupe. I mean, number one, the color is wrong for me. That's the color right there. But I mean, I just don't like the product. The product is a little bit too stiff for my liking, and so it pulls at the brow hairs. I'm not the biggest fan of this humongous spoolie. I'm not a big fan of this, but for $3, if you're looking for a brow product, if you forgot to do your brows and you need to run to the store and get a quick brow product, I mean, this will do you in a pinch, but for me, I have better brow products from the drugstore, so this one is going to be leaving my collection. Let's move on to some things for the face. I do have this Smooth Operator powder from Tarte. This is just a white powder. Every time I use this, it just makes my under eyes look dry and crepey, and it doesn't wear well. I almost feel like it doesn't enhance my concealer under my eyes at all. I just really don't like the way that this makes my under eyes and this makes my face look. It makes me look very dry, very chalky, so I am not even going to be trying to use up this little sample size. If you watched my Project Pan video, I mentioned this in my Project Pan. So again, this is just gonna leave my collection because I can't be trying to use up a product that I don't like. Along with some face stuff, this is a face palette from Flower Beauty. I've had this forever, but as you guys can see, the blush has completely broken apart and is out of the pan. Now, this is a very nice product. I've hit pan pretty much on both the bronzer and the highlighter as well. These are very, very soft powders. So very soft, very crumbly. But there's the bronzer. Let me see. Oh, I might want to save it for this highlighter, y'all. If it's one thing that Flower Beauty can do right, it's highlighters. Look at that. But this has been sitting at the bottom of my drawers. I'd rather just go out and get the Flower Highlighting Palette, or if Flower Beauty started selling highlighter singles, I'd rather just get that instead of keeping this whole thing around. The bronzer was nice, but again, it was very chalky, and because it is pigmented, you gotta have a little bit more of a softer hand with it. But yeah, that highlighter is gorgeous, but the blush, since these powders are so soft, they just completely fell apart on me. So unfortunately, this is going to be leaving my collection, even though it is a very, very good product. Along with bronzers, I have a bronzer from e.l.f. I think I've put this in one of my disappointing products before, but this is their like little quadrant of different colors. This, I mean, the color is, I got it in cool, and the color is cool, so that's it right there. But I just feel like it's patchy. It doesn't go on well. I don't like the way it wears. I'm not a fan of this bronzer product, and so I'm not even gonna fool with it anymore. I have better bronzers in my drawer. I have other bronzers from the drugstore, not necessarily in this price point, but I do have other bronzers from the drugstore. The Ulta bronzer is actually really, really good. So this is gonna leave my collection because it is literally just taking up space. Next, I have a Mega Cushion color corrector from Wet n Wild, and I'm decluttering this because I actually used a lot of it up. And so this is actually a pretty good color corrector. It just comes with their sponge. And so what I used to do is I would dip my like my beauty blender into this, and it would just come out as a corrector. I would put it underneath my eyes. This was a pretty good product. I enjoyed using it. I have found other correctors that work better for me that are high-end, unfortunately. But if you're looking for a drugstore corrector, the Wet n Wild cushion correctors are actually pretty decent, and I would give them a shot if you're looking at something from the drugstore. I have this loose blush from Studio Makeup, and I'm sure I got this in a BoxyCharm, but I don't have any use for a loose blush because these they make such a mess. I mean, it is a very, very pretty color. Actually, it's like showing up as nothing, so it's very subtle and it has sparkle in it. I think I can give this to somebody else who would really, really enjoy it because, again, I'm not using this. Let me try popping some of this on the cheek and see what I think about it. This is a pinker blush, and I am wearing more of a bronzy look today, but let me just see. Let me get my dual fiber. So I just went ahead and I knocked some off into the lid, pick some of this up with my blush brush, tap it off. It's a little bit more pigmented than I would originally give it credit for. But again, I don't think I want to take the time to deal with a loose blush. It's pretty, but see, now this is left over in the lid. So you try to knock it back in, and it just makes a mess. Okay, I don't need a blush that's messy, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass this on. It is a very pretty color. It does create a nice little wash of rosiness to the cheeks, but again, I don't need a product that's gonna be messy like this, and that's gonna take so much time to do. Same thing with this loose highlighter from Artist Couture. I think they just started carrying this brand in Sephora, but this is a loose highlighter, and this is just chock full of glitter. And this is, I think this is the Illuminati shade, but it is just glitter central. Glitter central. And so I think I talked about this in another one of my videos where I can't wear it because it literally looks like, now if you did this as like a body highlight, and I never highlight my body, but let me just see. Oh, just glitter. But I know people will like highlight their shoulders. Not that I think that that's doing anything. No, this isn't even worth it to me. I just don't want to be covered in glitter. So this is going to be leaving my collection. Hopefully it will find a new home. On the same line as highlighters, I have 3 liquid highlighters. I have oily skin. I don't like liquid highlighters. So I have the High Beam from Benefit. I have the Ulta Beauty Liquid Illuminator right here. And then I have the Tarteist Pro Glow. This I got in my most recent BoxyCharm, and I tried it out for you guys. It is a thicker, moussey formula. And I mean, it looks like you're wearing something on your skin, and that, I mean, I know with loose ones it can look kind of powdery, but this it doesn't look good. I can't do it. And so this is just not a formula for me. I know a lot of people love it. I know a lot of people kind of share my opinion as far as the formula, but that is going to be leaving. As far as these two are on the more pinky tone, which I do appreciate the pinker formula. This is the one from Ulta, and it is a creamier format, but again, it's kind of like the Tarte one, where it just has too much of a like tacky kind of formula where it ends up just sitting on the face weird. But out of all three of these, I do think that the High Beam one is the best out of the three. And I think it's because just the formula is better on this one. But again, I'm never wearing it because I don't wear this. So this is High Beam, and then this one is Northern Lights from Ulta. So I'm never wearing these because I don't wear cream products on for a highlight. Next is this little sample of the Makeup Forever HD Perfector skin tint thing that I got in my most recent Sephora Play. Number one, the color and tone of it is completely off for me. This is in shade number 6. As you can see, it is very nice and orange. So this is not my tone, not my shade. But overall, if I'm going to be using a skin tint, then I'm going to be reaching for my CC creams. This has an SPF of 25. The CC creams have a SPF of 50, is that, if I'm correct? But I'm going to be reaching for those more than I'm going to be reaching for this. Not only that, but I have BB creams from the drugstore that give more coverage and look nicer on the skin than this. So this is going to be leaving not only for formula, but also for the actual shade and color of this. Last but not least, we have our lip products, and I've been really needing to declutter my lip products because I have more coming in and I'm running out of room, and I kind of want to just keep the lip products. Like, I don't want to make any extra storage for my lip products. So the first one I have here is a one from the Sephora collection, and this is their Gel Gloss Ultra Brilliant Ultra Shine Lip Gloss. I mean, seriously, that's the name. Look how long it is. But this is in the shade number 4, Perfect Nude. And like, I understand having a nude gloss. My husband is playing video games very loudly. But it shows up as nothing on my lips. I'd rather have something with just a little bit of tint, more tint to it, so it looks not just like I'm wearing a glossy lip on my natural lips. The formula of it didn't last very long. It's just a standard gloss, and I think it's time that I go ahead and get rid of it and make room for other stuff in my collection. Then I have this lipstick from Ulta Beauty. This is one of the ones that I got in that little like kit that I did the video on. This is one of their nudes in pink chocolate. I'm just not that big a fan of the formula or the color. I mean, it's a little bit streaky, a little bit patchy, and the color is just a little bit too rose for my liking, so I'd rather pass this on to somebody that this is more of their shade. I have a Maybelline lipstick, and I'm just getting rid of this, I think, for the color. This is in 425 Plum Paradise, and I was looking for a plummy lipstick, and so I wanted to try this one out. That's our color right there. I mean, it is a very, very pretty color. I just think that the undertones are not right for me. The formula is decent. It's a little bit patchy, a little bit streaky. This is not one of their matte ones. This one stays a little bit, excuse you, Chihuahua. This one stays a little bit glossy. I have better lipsticks from Maybelline besides this one as far as formula wise and color wise. I have this matte lip paint from Galactic. This was from a BoxyCharm. I featured this in my BoxyCharm roundup. It is this very pretty brick terracotta rose color, but the formula of this is not very good. I don't like the way it dries down. I don't like the way it wears, and so this is going to be leaving my collection. And lastly, I have one of the Intense NYX Butter Glosses. Now this is in Toasted Marshmallow. I wore this one in my least used makeup video, and I love the formula of the butter glosses, don't get me wrong. I actually have a butter gloss in Tiramisu that I wore yesterday and it's gorgeous. But with these intense ones, they are super pigmented, they are super creamy. I mean, just look at that. It is not patchy, it's beautiful. One swipe, it goes on wonderfully, but, and this was shame on me, with this dark of a color in a gloss format, it will move everywhere. So I've worn this a couple times out, and whenever I'm eating, it transfers off of my lip onto my chin, and I just end up having to wipe, gloss off my chin, which in turn wipes my makeup off. So while I love the formula of the NYX Butter Glosses, me personally, I'm going to stick more towards the nudes and natural shades more than these intense shades. So that is everything that I am decluttering from my collection this weekend. As always with reviews and declutters, what didn't work out for me and what is leaving my collection may be your favorite, and that is okay. We are allowed to like different things because we all have different preferences, different skin tones, different skin types, so on and so forth. If you like this style of video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below if you have been disappointed by some of these products and they were decluttered from your collection. Leave me a comment if some of these are your favorites and tell me why they are your favorites, because like I said, what works out for you may not work out for me. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Baby, don't touch me.